Hi, Jonas. Welcome to the Future Proof Operations podcast.
Hi, Benjamin. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you on the podcast. Could you give me a 60 seconds overview of who you are and what you are doing?
Sure. My name is Jonas Meisinger. I am currently the head of quality and environmental management, production, development, and facility management here at RINGSPANN. And RINGSPANN is a manufacturer of power transmission components and clamping fixtures for a wide range of industries. And the company is headquartered here in Bad Homburg, Germany. And we currently employ more than 500 people in 18 international subsidiaries. And my responsibilities here include, when it comes to manufacturing, supporting and managing continuous improvement projects with, I would say, a focus on lean and digitalization.
hmm And how did you develop the passion for manufacturing?
I guess I realized pretty early in my career that I enjoy, I would say, tackling problems and opportunities for improvement by using data-driven and I would say structured approaches. And in my opinion, the manufacturing environment is the perfect playground for this, as it is the area of the company where by far the most performance data is generated. And the work is often done in a repetitive manner. So it's a good place to unlock optimization potential, as even like small improvements can have lasting impact on the effectiveness and efficiency of the processes.
hmm You already had different roles within RINGSPANN, and yeah, that's very remarkable, your journey at RINGSPANN. So could you share a little bit of your journey at RINGSPANN? So how everything started and how you climbed up to the position which you are fulfilling right now?
Yeah, sure. I started at RINGSPANN about 10 years ago as an apprentice industrial clerk, I would say. And after that, I studied business administration for my bachelor's degree and process management for my master's. Um, Both, so bachelor's and master's in a dual study system. So I could also take on some first projects here at the company. And since graduating about 3 years ago, I've been responsible, like I said, for the quality management and production development departments. And I guess for about a year now, I've also been in charge for the environmental and facility management departments here in Bad Homburg.
hmm And are there some key milestones that stood out for you in the last years?
Yeah, plenty of them. To be honest, compared to the company's 80-year history, my 10 years of employment have only allowed me to see a very small part of the development. But I have to say, I'm still very impressed by the dynamics of this period. Um, a major milestone for the company was the introduction of the ERP industry standard, SAP, of course, shortly before I joined the company. I guess it was in 2013, which enabled the improvement of various processes. But me personally, I'm impressed by the growth of the short period of time. I've been with the company in this time alone, 10 years. Um, Two new production halls have been built here in Bad Homburg. And additionally, there have been many measures for the internationalization of the company. There have been 9 new international subsidiaries in the 10 years I've been with the company alone. And in addition, there have been various acquisitions and some constructions of new production facilities abroad. So, although, of course, we are still a classic medium-sized company, in my opinion, we are now very well positioned internationally and represented on all continents.
Yeah, Jonas, thanks for that introduction of you and your company, RINGSPANN. Now let's dive into our main topic today. We want to talk about Germany as a production location, and we want to talk about the question how its competitiveness can be maintained or even expanded in a global context. So you have been part of RINGSPANN for a long time. How has the production site in Germany evolved, and what do you see as the biggest chances and challenges today?
Yeah. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, the production facilities here at our headquarters in Bad Homburg have been significantly modernized in recent years by some major investments in new buildings, like I mentioned, but also in machinery, equipment, and processes, of course, and employees, of course. And I believe that our strengths here at the site lie in a high degree of standardization and, in addition to that, strong awareness of order and cleanliness in the production environment, which is also regularly emphasized and confirmed by our customers, suppliers, or other business partners who visit us. And in my opinion, the biggest challenge for our production location here in Germany is to improve the quality and quantity of our production data, to use this data digitally in an appropriate manner, of course, and then to use it through standardized systems to draw the right conclusions. I'm talking about machine data collection, artificial intelligence, of course, in yeah, some processes like predictive maintenance. And when I think about the whole system, I would go for shop floor management system, just to name some key words in this context.
Mhm. In our preparation call, we already touched that project, the shop floor management system, which we are working on. So, what are the goals of that project? Because everything which you touched right now as challenges could be solved probably with digitalization, with a bigger system which you can place in the factory. So, is the shop floor management system your big digitalization project right now, which should solve that challenges?
Yeah, in some degree. I mean, the shop floor management project is pretty strategic initiative aimed at enhancing our efficiency, transparency, and agility, of course, of our manufacturing process. And yeah, the goals of this project are, of course, process improvement, as we aim to streamline our production workflow by digitizing processes, like you mentioned. We want to reduce lead times. We want to minimize scrap, but we also want to be able to monitor our processes in real time. The shop floor management system will provide, like I said, real time visibility into production matrix, which allow us to monitor key performance indicators and make data driven decisions to improve operations. And yeah, the three more goals of this shop floor management process or project would be resource allocation, quality assurance, of course, and last but not least, the main aim of this project is workforce empowerment. We want to give our employees the tools and information they need to excel in their roles and use this structured approach by this shop floor management project to enhance the workforce empowerment.
Okay, you are naming a lot of goals, and it sounds like a big project. So, what kind of challenges do you see within that project? Um, and how are you tackling it? So, is it, for example, something which you are building yourself, or do you use a standalone um, pre-configured solution?
No, we are trying to build it for ourselves, for the Wingspan approach. And the biggest challenge in my view lies in the change management. Um, as you know, introducing new technologies and processes can and will encounter some resistance from employees, which might be accustomed traditional methods. And we need effective change management strategies like training programs and clear communication, of course, which are essential to promote the adoption and mitigate some resistance.
How do you make that happen? And when I talk with other leaders from manufacturing companies, change management and the the way how you can take the employees along that journey is super important or marked as super important. But then the question is how do you tackle that? How do you do it? Do you have a specific approach at Wingspan? How you communicate to the employees? How you take them along within workshops, for example, like you said?
Yeah, take the employees from the earliest stage possible in the project management, and like you mentioned, workshops with the employees. Um, Talk about the goals with the employees from the earliest stage possible. That's our way to go in this case.
In our preparation call, we talked about some other levers, how the production side could be improved or how the productivity could be improved in general. And of course, that could be a strengthening factor for the sites here in Germany. And we talked, for example, about the automated and digital production control through a BI system, and how you can improve the machinery performance and the overall productivity. How how is your view on that? I know that you implemented it. Did it work out? What are the pros and cons here?
It worked out pretty good for us. I can say it in two words: real time insights. That's the main thing. Our BI tool provides real time data on machine performance and other production metrics, which allows us to identify issues promptly, make informed decisions more or less on the fly. And this agility has optimized our production schedules and resource allocation, improving output while decreasing downtime. So I would say, in short, automated, digital, continuous, and regular production control through our BI tool has been more or less instrumental in driving machine performance and overall productivity at Ringspan. And by harnessing the power of data-driven insights, we are now able to continuously improve our processes by making data-driven decisions.
Mhm. And who is driving that project or that initiative to build that BI application, for example? Is it you or is it the whole group? Sometimes I feel that there need to be one person who is just pushing that very much, and then the others will follow. How is it at Ringspan?
No, it's a whole group thing. I mean, the production is at the heart of our company, and therefore our leading board stands behind those kind of measures and projects.
Okay, interesting. We talked about one other fact. So right now we touched the shop floor management system. We touched BI and process monitoring, process transparency. One other thing is continuous improvement processes or continuous improvement of processes. And we talked about the aspect of standardized processes, standardized documentation. How do you handle that at Ringspan? I know that you had some successes and learnings from that initiative.
Yeah. We implemented a standardized continuous improvement process system, I would call it, in 2020, which brought some great successes and good learnings for us. And one key aspect we've emphasized is, like I mentioned before, the importance of effective change management, which was not only introducing new processes like this system, but also ensuring that employees are well informed and motivated to participate. And our experience has shown very clearly in this case that it's crucial for the team leaders to remain actively engaged by continuously reinforcing the importance of the system. And I would say this hands-on approach has helped us to build a culture for the system where employees feel empowered to contribute their ideas for improvement. And Additionally, we've implemented small performance incentives to reward employees for their contributions to the system, which serve as an additional motivation tool, encouraging ongoing participation and like reinforcing the value of the employees' ideas. So I would say in summary, for the continuous improvement system, our experience underscores the importance of effective communication, stuff like proactive leadership and employee engagement and driving successful projects in this area. And as a result, since implementing it 4 years ago, we've seen some great improvements in efficiency, quality as well, by implementing the suggestions generated through this process by our employees.
Mhm. And when you make it very concrete, how is that system looking like? So I would assume that every employee, every worker needs to has access to it. Does everybody now use their smartphone or tablet to log in and then use it all the day, or do you have some stations in the factory to use it? How is it looking like from a worker perspective?
Yeah, I would love that with the smartphone. I would love to have a digital solution, but yeah, it's a whiteboard. It's a whiteboard in the shop floor area for each team, um, because it has to be easy to access, and this analog um, system is pretty easy to handle, and the system itself is built like a PDCA circle. So the employee comes at the whiteboard, writes down his idea, and at least once, better twice a week, the team leader um, has a Scamber walk and it looks at the whiteboard or the CIP board and talks the idea through with the employee, and then they plan measures, um, by using PDCA circle.
Okay. We talked about different topics, how a manufacturing site, can improve its productivity, its efficiency to be strong as a site located here in Germany. We didn't touch quality yet, and I know that is a big topic for you. So, how do you maintain and evaluate quality standards within your site?
Yeah, yeah, this is indeed a paramount priority for us, as we need to ensure that our products consistently meet or better exceed our customer expectations. And therefore, we built on our continuous improvement process, like I mentioned a couple of times now, but also advanced technologies like automation in some areas, even robotics, advanced quality control system, and real-time monitoring tools, like I mentioned before. Um, Additionally, of course, we recognize the importance of strong partnerships with our suppliers, for example. And like I also mentioned before, we want to emphasize data-driven decision making by collecting and analyzing data at every relevant stage of the production process to gain insights in our processes that enable us to identify potential issues proactively. And to close this, further pillars of our quality management system and the production development, of course, as well, employee empowerment, training and empowerment, of course, customer feedback, and of course, adherence to industry standards like ISO 9001, which basically is the basis of our quality management system.
Mhm. Okay, understood. Thank you for that. Jonas, unfortunately, we are already coming to the end of this episode. The podcast is called Future Proof Operations Podcast, and that's why I'm very curious how you think about the future of Ringspan and the future of your factory. So, what is your vision for the Ringspan factories? How will a factory look like 10 years from now, from your perspective?
Yeah, tough question. But I think in envisioning the Rinkman factories a decade from now, our goal has to be leading in innovation, efficiency, and of course sustainability when it comes to manufacturing. Um, I I personally, in case, think of our factories as dynamic hubs of technological advancement, if you want to call it like that, which integrate automation with human skills and expertise to continuously improve the productivity of our processes and the quality of our products, of course. And I've mentioned it a couple of times, even for today, but I think even more than today, we will rely on data-driven operations by leveraging advanced data analytics and machine learning algorithms. And additionally, like real-time monitoring and predictive analytics will enable, even more than today, proactive maintenance and minimize downtime. Other aspects, when I think about the future, or other topics which will be more important than today, even if they're very important today, is energy efficiency. So of course we recognize the importance of sustainability. Our factories prioritize energy efficient practices and technologies, which might and already have included some investments in renewable energy sources, but also optimization of equipment and processes to minimize energy consumption. And I want to close again with one of the most, if not the most important topic for me is employee empowerment. Even more than today, we will be committed and we have to be committed to foster a culture of collaboration and continuous improvement. And our workforce will be empowered with the tools and training necessary to excel in their roles and by that driving the company forward.
Yeah, thank you, Jonas, for sharing that vision. I think the worker empowerment part is connecting us, you and me, thinking the whole thing from the workforce perspective. Of course, they have to be aligned and committed to the whole strategy and to the vision of a company. Jonas, thanks a lot for being on the show. I have learned a lot of interesting things. Looking forward to the next episode, probably. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was a great talk.